fans of high quality entertainment. Today I'm going to pick 12 CDs from my collection, just, randomly, and then I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite and just do a little mini review for each of the albums. I think I did this a few months ago and thought it was time to do it again because it's a lot of fun. At least for me. Here we go. Now I know the Beatles are around here, but I'll try and not pick any Beatles because the Beatles are always number one in my books. Maybe all the way over here. 1, 2, another level here, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you thought I couldn't count. 7, 8, so 8, here's 2 more levels, 9, 9, one above it, 10, 2 more, so 11, and 12. All right, here we go. I just saw one of the albums and it's not one of my favorites. Okay, so here are the albums I picked. Paul McCartney, Pipes of Peace, which isn't one of my favorite Paul McCartney albums. I showed this in, I think, a very recent video. Farewell Aldebaran with Jerry Yester and Judy Henske. The Who, Odds and Sods. Neil Young with Crazy Horse, Zuma. A Sparks album, music that you can dance to. Speak of the devil. Uh-oh. Queen, Flash Gordon. Not one of their best albums. Oh, Nectar. Journey to the Center of the Eye, their very first album. Kraftwerk, Autobahn. Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Blood and Chocolate. Canned Heat, Livin' the Blues, a double album. I talked about this in a recent video too. John Anderson, The More You Know. And Blue Oyster Cult, Heaven Forbid, with the really ugly album cover. So some of these are not very good albums, and some of them are. So I might speed this video up a bit as I put them in the ranking. I know what's going to be the worst. Ranking albums is very stressful. You know what I've decided? I'm not going to do like that. This is a soundtrack, so I want to just do like studio albums. So I'm not going to do that. And this is an excellent compilation of The Who, but I'm not going to do this one either. I just want to rank studio albums. So let's pick another couple here. Just one here. Oh, I got 2, so I'll pick. I got 2 of them, so I'll put this one back. Put there. So, yeah, in the place of The Who, which is the compilation, and Flash Gordon, which is the soundtrack. I've got Ramones, Rocket to Russia, and Frank Zappa, We're Only in It for the Money. All right. So number 12, even though he's in my top 5, maybe even top 3 singers, John Anderson, The More You Know. It's a really poppy album. There's no prog rock in it at all. It's very cheesy. You know, John Anderson could get cheesy in Yes, which was fine because, you know, when he's singing, you're believing everything he's singing. But this, for me, is just way too sugary, sweet, and the songs aren't very good. Sorry, John. So that's number 12. And speaking of cheese, Paul McCartney, Pipes of Peace. I've told the story many times. This is when I gave up on Paul McCartney for many, many years, over 25 years. Not that I didn't love his, you know, his earlier music. And I finally came back to him when he released Memory Almost Full, and then I went back and appreciated some of the earlier albums, but I still am not Pipes of Peace. But if you are, that's great. It's just, you know, my own personal opinion. I do like a couple of the tracks. So Bad. Pipes of Peace is good. And even Say, it's kind of, it's half good and half annoying. So that's number 11. Number 10 is this very psychedelic folk pop rock album by Judy Henske and Jerry Yester. I just never really play it, but I like some of the songs on it, but I just the whole album to listen to, I don't really listen to. 12, 11, 10. Number 9. Another album I really don't play that much, but when I was doing a ranking for this band, you know, I had to listen to the whole album, and I enjoyed it. Blue Oyster Cult, Heaven Forbid. I enjoy it more than the stupid album cover. Yeah, this is pretty heavy. It's not much variety in it. It's more just your basic hard rock, but it's not one of my favorite Blue Oyster Cult albums, but it's still a good album to me. Number 8 is Nectar, Journey to the Center of the Eye. Now we're getting into the good stuff. This is their very first album. It's psychedelic rock, progressive rock. They're trying to still find themselves, but it's interesting. It's a fun listen, so I like it. Number 7, Canned Heat, double album, Living the Blues. Now the thing with this is, like I said, it's a double album. The first disc, I love. Short songs, My Mistake, Going Up the Country, of course, their big hit. Boogie Music, One Kind Favor. And then, but it's really padded. Like disc 2 is this really, really long song, part 1 and part 2, called Refried Boogie, which gets kind of monotonous after a while. So it's half of a really good Canned Heat album, but not my favorite. Number 6 is Ramones, Rocket to Russia. My favorite Ramones album is their debut. I love, you know, the guitar on one side, the bass on the other side, and the drums in the middle. And this is more, you know, a better production, of course, on this, but I just prefer the first album the most, but this is still great. Cred and Hop, Rockaway Beach, Sheena's a Punk Rocker, Teenage Lobotomy, Ramona, Surfin' Bird. Great fun. Number 5, Neil Young, Zuma. I actually listened to Landing on Water and Trans more than this, believe it or not. But I know that, most people would prefer Zuma. Yeah, it's great. Don't Cry No Tears, Danger Bird, of course, is a classic. Cortez the Killer, Barstool Blues, Looking for Love. You can't go wrong with Neil Young. Excellent. Number 4. Glenn had this album in one of our recent CD exchanges. He couldn't totally get it, and that's understandable. But I've always loved Kraftwerk and Autobahn. Although I actually love Radioactivity a tad more. Number 3, this album has really, when it came out, I liked it, but through the years I've grown to absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite albums by Elvis Costello and the Attractions. Blood and Chocolate. This is so good, but it's number 3. Uncomplicated, I Hope You're Happy Now. I Want You, of course, is just so great. And Blue Chair, Crimes of Paris, Poor Napoleon, Next Time Around. Excellent. Shockingly, number 2 is Sparks, Music That You Can Dance To. So when this came out, I was disappointed, because I preferred then for Sparks to get back to rock and roll, like, Want That Sucker and Angst in My Pants. And this was more dance-oriented synth music. But once again, I've grown to really, really love this album. Music That You Can Dance To, Rosebud, Armies of the Night, and sometimes the album would have change on this instead of Armies of the Night. Both songs are great. And Shopping Mall of Love, which of course they do. Actually, yeah, they perform 2 songs in concert now from this album. Music That You Can Dance To and Shopping Mall of Love. But I love the whole album. The only weak song is Fingertips, the Stevie Wonder cover, which I used to absolutely hate, and now I don't hate it anymore. It's just not one of my favorite Sparks songs, but overall, I love this album. Number 1 is Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. We're only in it for the money. And you'll see Jimi Hendrix right there. And Jimi Hendrix and Frank Zappa actually were friends, and he is actually, I keep saying actually. And Jimmy is really there in person. He's really standing there, really. And then there's Frank's wife, pregnant, Gail Zappa. Yeah, this is just such a funny, Frank Zappa never believed in the hippie crap. And neither did I. Flower power sucks, man. Yeah, and I remember seeing this in record stores, back in the late 60s. And this would be the cover because they were having issues with getting the rights to the Sgt. Pepper cover parody. So they had this on the cover instead for whatever reason. And that was the back cover. So that's it. This is number 1 for me. I would love your thoughts on the albums I showed. What are some of your favorites and least favorites? If I get enough comments, I'll do this again sometime. So please remember to like the video and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.